Now talk about that. Talk about how important relationships are, because I think some people look at that aren't doing it, look at relationships like, okay, I go out and network. But as you guys know, and I know, it's about knowing people, them knowing you, and then about who you are, and for a long period of time, and they seeing who you are, that makes them want to work with you. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so I mean, I honestly think like I could attest to like so many situations where just the relationship with the person just helped to elevate. And you know what I'm saying? In a different case, I think one which is really important to me is this relationship that I had with this publisher, which when we had a clothing brand, we would be just going around just talking to everybody just about Cremo and just letting them know about our clothing brand and seeing how we could help people. And then his name's Byron Wright, but he worked at BMI, and you know, we've been cool with him for years, and nothing came out of that relationship. It just was a sincere and genuine, like we vibe, and you know, anytime he needed help with anything, any events that he could kind of let us in, we kind of got in. And I remember it was this one time that I bumped into him at a concert, and he's like, yo, I want to introduce you to my other little bro. And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm with it if you want to introduce it to it. And he goes, yeah, it's Mike Will Made It. And then I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I heard about you know what I'm saying? I heard that you make beats and everything. And then I found out that Mike was 1 year older than me. And then we just connected and vibed. And I think a lot of stuff that we're doing or that I've done or things that I've seen and the position that I had over at Ear Drummers and a lot of the accolades that I had, I could attribute to that connection. And it was just, I could have just been like, oh, okay, cool. You can't do anything for me right now. F you, you know what I'm saying? But it was just more than that. I think I felt like it was just something genuine there and sincere. And I just formed that relationship genuinely, not just because he could have did something for me. It was just like, I'm genuinely rocking with you, and I genuinely, when I remember Byron, I don't know if you remember, but I remember he had his birthday party, and I used to take photos and videos. I came there, was taking pictures and videos for his birthday party, you know what I'm saying? But all of that stuff led up to I would say it was definitely a blessing and a payoff, because he introduced me to somebody that's very crucial, that helped me move a lot as far as in my career, like, you know what I'm saying? And with our company as well. Mike Will, you know what I'm saying? He's helped so much, like, you know what I'm saying, even from Creed too. But things like that, I feel like happen in our life all the time. It's always the little relationship that we're not even thinking about. That's like, oh, cool. And it's not never like, oh, what can you do for me? It's just like, yo, we have a genuine connection. And it's just like, I think that's a big part of how 6 Degrees is. It's just like a lot of people that we've met that we call on is people that we just have a genuine connection with, and they end up to be a big rapper, or they end up to be a big exec, or they end up to be a big designer, or they end up, but it's just right then and there we was rocking with you when it wasn't nothing. So it was just like, and you could call on us when you couldn't do anything for us, and maybe we couldn't do anything for you, but we would just be there and just farm that because it just felt good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then it's just like, whoa, like, oh yeah, I got something for y'all. And it's just like, damn, this is crazy. I would never think this would ever happen. So I think that's just the importance of just relationships. So many times people ask me like, well, how do you network? And I'm like, well, I don't know. It's just, if I rock with you, I rock with you. If you're saying something, if it's like we're like-minded, I feel like then it's gonna be something there. Like, I'm gonna care for what you're saying. You're gonna care about what I'm saying, and we could build from that. Whether we could, you know what I'm saying, whether it's just advice, like, you know what I'm saying.
I think to chime in on the relationships part of it, I think what's really important, and something that me and B Wright have been able to kind of like really emphasize on since our foundation of like our friendship and our relationship and our business relationship, is that you have to be able to bring something to the table. You know what I'm saying? You have to have something to offer that people want. As much as we've been able to build and relationships with people, people also valued us, right? Because they were like, even if they needed a graphic design, they didn't use us, we might have been 5th on the list, but we were on that list. You get what I'm saying? So when the time came where the opportunity met the exact moment, it worked out. So it's just like a lot of times, like with younger kids nowadays, they they do ask these questions. Yo, how do I network? And it's like, what do you have to offer? Because maybe you need to figure out what you can offer so that you can properly network. Because if you're networking with nothing, if you have nothing to bring to the table, then guess what? You won't, people are going to say, okay, cool, nice to meet you. Y'all will exchange contacts and they probably won't text you back. But if you seem super serious and like you can bring something to that table, guarantee you, even if they don't text you back the first time, second time, third time, fourth time, when they need you, they'll make sure you're there. You know what I mean? Not right.
Yeah, I mean, to add on what Des was saying, I think that's really important. That process is really important when you're trying to network up. But when you're on the same level as people and you're connecting and growing, that's when I just think that's like two different things. Where it's just like, I always encourage people to please, if you got somebody fire that takes photos, that's just in your same community or same age or whatever it is,
level.
like mess with them, because at the end of the day, if they have the same mind and they have the same passion and stuff for it, they're gonna be big. They're gonna be a big manager. They're gonna be, because we've seen it so many times where it's just like, damn, yo, what's the name was just telling us about this 5 years ago.
Yep.
Now they control it. It's like, so that's just really good. Well, I'm a big fan of, like, I think a lot of maneuvering through the industry, that's what we were doing. I think, and that's why we reap the benefits so much now, because it was just like, oh, my friend does video. He's really cool at doing video. Oh, let's get with him. And it's just like, he's a big videographer at this point now. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, your network is your net worth.
That's real.
What? It might sound corny, but it's for real, man. Like, if you, this right here is powerful. If you look in your phone and stop looking at Instagram and trying to compare, this person didn't follow me back, this, that, the other, you might have to run into that person 6 different times for them to even recognize you and remember you. We had no problem doing that back in our days. Me and B Right, I promise to God, Wiz Khalifa pull up in town 10 times in a year. We are on the corner where his hotel is at every time. 2000. We didn't care if we looked crazy or any of that. Then eventually, he's like, I rock with those dudes. We in LA, we still there. We in Pennsylvania, he got a show, we still there. And it's like, bro, support people. Stop always asking. Give more. Make sure you have something that you can bring to the table. And then outside of that, understand what your network is. Like B Right said, network across. You don't have to always look up at the biggest person in the room and wonder why they don't fuck with you. Because there's a young exec in the making to the left of you that you can't see because you don't have the vision.
That's real.
And that's what we did. We looked at everybody around us and we understood who they were. And B Right was really good at this, you know, and me not so much, but I had to learn that, like, you know, this person to the right of me is going to be dope one day. If I go up and I can further position them, or if they go up and they can further position me, I can't shit on them because they're at this level to the right of me or to the left of me and they're not up here. You get what I'm saying? So your network is your network. That's it.